Hey guys, welcome back. So I wanted to give you guys an update on the RTX 5090 build. So guys, after turning off Rebar, things seem to be running a lot smoother. So I want to do some testing. I want to enable it, test some games, disable it, test some games, kind of go through that. I did a little bit of research today. I watched some of the usual suspects and what they were talking about. And, a lot of people seem to think that Rebar is not really good on the Nvidia, but then it is good. You know what I mean? It's like good for some things and not good for other things, like unlike, on the AMD side, it seems to be, smart access memory doesn't seem to interfere as much with a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't seem to take away performance, but it does, generally give you performance. And so I've seen a lot of stuff about Nvidia being reluctant to embrace this type of feature, almost like trying to, like people saying that they're essentially just trying to play catch up to AMD over it. Look, man, Rebar, in my mind, is one of those things where it's like, okay, the feature itself seems to be a good forward-thinking feature, but like a lot of other people were saying, it's not necessary really for what's going on some of these games, and it doesn't seem to affect Nvidia completely negatively a lot by not having it on, except for in some games, like some games are actually doing better or whatever. I watched some Linus Tech Tips about it. I even watched our good buddies Hardware Unboxed on it. And, a couple of other people like Digital Foundry and stuff like that. Because personally, guys, I thought this was supposed to be the savior of video games and whatever. You just turn it on and people are always like, turn on Rebar, turn on Rebar. But, to be fair, there were people in the comments section a while back saying, Frog, you got to do something about Rebar and stuff. And, sorry, guys, it just takes me a while to get through the comments and like try, certain things. So, I do read them, and then eventually I come back to them. Like there was like one of the things on the list, I heard a lot of people talking about it, so it was something that I wanted to find out. And thankfully it fixed my Assassin's Creed problem. Like that was freaking pretty cool. So yeah, I want to do a little bit more in-depth testing on this though, kind of see if there's games. And yes, I heard you when you said Nvidia Inspector. So we're going to test that out. I don't know if it's going to happen right soon or anything, but just know that it's something that I'm working on. Nvidia Inspector. I'm going to look into that. I want to research that a little bit more before I start downloading or doing what. I don't even know where to find it. So I got to research that a little bit. But for right now, turning off Rebar was something that I could just flick a little switch in my BIOS and do. So, and that seems to have fixed the problem that I had with Assassin's Creed Shadows. So now I need to go back and try to test a few different games to see if this is something that I can do. And the Nvidia Inspector is kind of like the next step in that. I want to get that downloaded so that I can, or open it up, or however, like I got to find it. I got to figure it out first. So I can start looking into that and seeing what that will do for the experience. It's just weird that you have to do all of this extra stuff on the Nvidia side, because unfortunately Nvidia is not doing it for us like AMD does. AMD tries to do everything they can to make sure your gaming is your good gaming. And yeah, if it's a feature that Nvidia doesn't seem to think is worth it, then okay. I mean, if they're not programming for it or doing their drivers, with it in mind, then okay, we need to figure that out. But for some reason, a lot of people are saying that it really affects the performance of Starfield with it being on. But then a lot of games, it doesn't do anything with it being off. So this is something that we eventually need to get figured out. And as a community, I think we should be able to put our heads together. I'm not trying to be against the grain as much as I used to. Trust me, like I am trying to figure this out. I spent $6,000 building that 5090. Trust me, I want the best experience I can get out of it. I do. I genuinely want to love my Nvidia machine as much as you guys love Nvidia, and I want to love my Nvidia as much as I love my AMD. Like I do. I want it. I like it. I really enjoy playing on it. I just, yeah, dude, it is a great system and I really do love it. But yeah, that's just crazy. So, all right, my friends, that is the update. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.